protest for saving Amravati started, and joining me right now is TDP MP Jaydeep Dhalla to talk more about. Sir, 30 days since people have been protesting, you also be part of the protest. The government obviously is fixed that they will actually go ahead and have a capital in Visakhapatnam, and then this Amravati will be a legislative capital. What is your take on it, and what exactly are the problems being faced by people because of shifting of capital?
For the last 30 days, the 29 villages in the capital region have been protesting. It started with CM Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu's announcement in the assembly on the very last day, last hour, after suspending all of the TDP MLAs and taking them out of the assembly, with only YSRCP MLAs present in the assembly. He made a statement at the very end saying that we should look at the idea of having three capitals, one legislative, one executive, and one judicial in three places, Vizag, Amaravati, and Kurnool. The CM making that statement itself is a wrong thing at that time. He's appointed the G.N. Rao committee, he's appointed Boston Consulting Group as consultants. Later on, he's appointed a high-power committee also. But making a statement before any of them have been able to submit their reports is the same as influencing those committees. So the committees have said exactly what the CM has said in the assembly. They're supporting the CM's program. They're not been given independence to come out with their own views. So those reports are not valid, they have no sanctity, they have no credibility, and they need not be considered at all in our opinion. Bogie Day throughout the capital area, all of those reports are burned in the Bogie fire also, along with all other trash, because they're nothing but trash. They're useless reports. The reasons being given by this government for shifting of three capitals are all not valid. We can debunk each and every one of them. They're using South Africa as an example. South Africa, the Chief Minister says we need to have new ideas, be open to new ideas. But the South Africa example is a very old idea, a very outdated idea, and a very foolish idea. Having three capitals will not save any money to the government. It's only going to increase the cost. Today in Amaravati, all facilities are available or on the verge of being in completion. Already Secretariat is functioning, Assembly is functioning, Chief Minister office is here, Governor residence is here. Everything's already functioning. They need not shift the capital for that. Today, if the government is interested to save money and not to incur more expenditure, they should keep the capital in Amaravati only because it's functioning already. If they have to create infrastructure in Vizag and Kurnool, that's only going to increase the costs.
Well, that is something with
whatever the figure, around 1 lakh crores, is for the grand vision of a modern world-class city. But if they don't want to go ahead with that proposal, there's no need to shift the capital from Amaravati. The idea of decentralized development is absolutely not a good argument at all. Splitting the government into three is not decentralized development. Decentralized development is bringing industries, bringing service sector, manufacturing sector to these places where jobs can be provided to the youth and economy can grow. The government complexes are only cost centers, they're not profit centers. No revenue is going to be generated as a result of this decentralization of the capital. It's only going to increase the cost, increase the infrastructure that's required because it's spread into three different areas. All of officers, officials, MLAs, ministers will have to have infrastructure in all the three places. They're going to have homes, offices, staff, cars, all those expenses, who's going to pay for it? Plus all the movement from one place to another. The TA and DA is a huge expense. The last 6 months, this government has not even been able to pay TA and DA to the police force. How are they going to pay the huge TA and DA that's going to be incurred by all officers moving from around all these places? So in my opinion, it's 3 times the cost and 1/3 the efficiency. If you want decentralized development, you continue with the same decentralized development that the TDP government was doing.
All right, now
The government has entered into agreements with 29,000 farmers. Now those 29,000 farmers have legal rights. Just because a act is repealed in the assembly or a new act is passed in the assembly does not absolve the government from those obligations. If they have to compensate the farmers as per the agreement, recently I saw a report that said it's going to be almost more than 2 lakh crores. So if they're not ready to spend 1 lakh crores to build a modern city, how are they going to compensate the farmers 2 lakh crores? This is not viable. So Jagan Mohan Reddy and his government can do anything they want, but there are legalities. We are living in a democratic country where people have legal rights, and those legal rights cannot be forgotten about. So the whole concept is a flawed concept. Even if they don't want to go ahead with the grand plan of Amaravati, there's sufficient facilities available today in Amaravati to run the capital. Even the housing and other projects that have been started are almost 80%, 90% complete. We just have to spend a little bit more money to complete those things. So whether it's a cost-effective economic basis or a moral basis, or even future, if we look at future development, Vizag is already developing. It's the second most developed city in the state. Even when we were a combined state, where Hyderabad was the capital, Vizag is the second most developed city. Today it's the most developed city in Andhra Pradesh. So taking the capital to Vizag in the name of decentralized development does not make any sense at all. Vizag will continue to develop. We are also developing it as a financial center. It can continue to develop as a financial center. But splitting up the capital is not only a burden and a difficulty for the farmers of this region, but it's going to be an economic burden for the entire state for generations to come, not just one time.
all right, now sir,
The state has come out clearly in favor of one capital, Amaravati. There is limitations to what the center can do, but the center can definitely influence the decision of the state. As far as the High Court is concerned, that's a central decision. Nobody can shift the High Court without the center's approval. So that itself is within the purview of the center. As far as the capital is concerned, that's true. It's up to the state. But if the state is not looking after the legal rights that the farmers have because of the agreements that they've entered into, and it's creating this type of agitation, and so many people are being victimized, not only by the fact that the capital is moving, but even by not allowing us to demonstrate our views in a democratic and peaceful manner. And law and order is becoming a problem because of that. Sections are being implemented like Section 144 and Section 30, which don't apply to this situation at all. Those are sections that have to be used against terrorists and Naxalites, not against poor farmers and ladies and women, the way that's being used here. So law and order problem is becoming more and more day by day. The High Court has also given an interim judgment when a PIL was filed that Section 144 and 30 should not be used for this purpose. The Supreme Court recently also in a verdict regarding Kashmir has said very clearly that Section 144 and such sections should not be used to suppress the democratic right of people to express their dissent and protest against government policies. So I don't see any other reason why Section 144 has been imposed in this region. There's no violence, there are no terrorist activities, there are no Naxalites, there's no law and order problem. We are peacefully protesting for the last 30 days. It's only when the police have stepped in and gone to excesses that only has made the people to react in that way. And even their reaction is only self-preservation. It's not a violent act. I think anybody who sees the videos or the images can see very clearly what type of human rights have been violated. The Women's Commission was here the other day to collect information. All the women have expressed to them how they've been violated. And next, I think even the Human Rights Commission will have to also take action. So through these different commissions, these are all central commissions. So the central government has a role to play in ensuring that democracy is maintained, the freedom of expression and the freedom to express dissent is being denied to the farmers of Andhra Pradesh. And that is not a state issue. That's a national issue. And that has to be taken into cognizance. And our ministers also. Is that the only issue that arises here is a real estate issue. But I want to make one thing very clear. For most people, especially poor people, the only asset that they have is their farmland and their house. They don't have any other major asset. That is true not only in Amaravati, but throughout the country. You go to Hyderabad or you go to Telangana or any other state also. Most of the people, their only asset is their farmland and their house. Now, if you say that people should not be concerned about real estate, that means that if you devalue the value of their property, that means huge economic burden on those people. So real estate is something that has to be considered. If real estate values are going up, that means the economy is doing well, people have the ability to spend money, the consumption will increase, and generally the people will be well off. If property values go down, it's a huge economic burden not only on rich people, but every person in the country. It's like saying that demonetization affects only the rich people, which is not true. Demonetization affected the poor people even more than the rich people and middle class. So real estate is also something like that. Real estate is something that everybody has a stake. The poor people, middle class people, and upper class people all have a stake in it. And just like demonetization hurt the poor people the most, any devaluation of real estate will hurt the poor people the most also. That is farmers and paid artists. Now you're here on the ground. You can see who are all the people who are participating. Just because someone is wearing proper clothes, having Mangal Sutra and having a cell phone, they say that they're paid artists. It is absolutely wrong on their part to say. All these people are legitimate farmers. You can see for yourself.